So you're thinking of moving to St. Petersburg, Florida.
That is correct.
Maybe you've always thought it would be paradise living in Florida, but the timing wasn't right and you really didn't put too much time into researching it. Or maybe during COVID, you had a coworker transfer to the Tampa Bay area and raved about it, telling you that you need to get your butt down here.
Roger that, we're moving.
Whatever the case may be, you're watching this video and I'm gonna deliver the news. If you have seen any of my past videos, I don't sugarcoat things, and as a local, born and raised right here, I give you my word to share with you the good, the bad, and the ugly of living in the Tampa Bay area. Today's focus is on the pros and cons of St. Pete, Florida, so buckle up, buttercup,
Fill me up, buttercup,
because we're jumping into it right now. Welcome if you are new to my channel and new to me. I'm Adam Morjan and I make videos all about what it's like living in Tampa Bay area, covering the best neighborhoods and things to do so you can get a real feel for what it's like living here. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell because we have a ton of great content to share with you and you won't want to miss it. And if you're thinking of moving to the Tampa Bay area, I am a licensed realtor, so see that number on the screen? Give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email because my team and I would love to help you find the perfect home for you and your family. Okay, so what you can expect in this video is a little bit of everything. There is no special countdown to the number one thing you must see. It's all good stuff here.
Man, that's good.
I put together a true list of pros and cons relating to the St. Pete area, and I'm gonna hop back and forth for you, weighing in on both sides. So we are touching on neighborhoods, crime, the beaches, area vibes, sports, red tide, because that was a thing here recently. We will discuss the middle class or the lack of, seasonal changes, traffic, snowbirds, and more. So stick with me through this video.
I must stick with you forever.
Or skip around, really doesn't matter. Let's just have some fun here. Being that we are in real estate and love what we do, let's kick things off with the neighborhoods in St. Pete. St. Pete has some of my favorite neighborhoods in all of the Tampa Bay area, like the Old Northeast, overlooking Coffee Pot Bayou. Truth be told, I just like saying Coffee Pot Bayou. The name just sounds cool, but it truly is a beautiful community and located just off the downtown area. It's the most convenient and walkable area in my eyes. If you follow the waterfront a tad north, you'll come to Snell Isle, Shore Acres, and Venetian Isles. These are all small, tucked-in neighborhoods with water access, and I grew up fishing the Weed Island area and the surrounding areas nearby. A few other popular neighborhoods near downtown are the Woodlawn or Euclid St. Paul area near Crescent Lake, or the historic Kenwood area, which is near Central Ave. I know I just rattled off a ton of nice little communities, but the beauty in these communities is that they all have their own personalities with a variety of architecture, brick roads, and a ton of history. There's always that feeling of nostalgia when you walk through some of the communities and you get the views, you know, they just never get old.
It's beautiful.
It is.
Now, pump the brakes on the music. I told you I will give you both sides of the coin. And while these areas are beautiful and there is no denying it, there are two cons with neighborhoods in St. Pete. The first is that there are a ton of communities sprinkled throughout the area that are rather ran down and they do need a little bit of love. These areas have been neglected, or maybe they're in a low-income area and have been lacking the resources to keep up with the maintenance that's needed over a few decades, and it's really starting to show. The second issue with neighborhoods in St. Pete, if you're planning to relocate here, is that if you're into new construction communities or a new build home, maybe that's important to you, you're pretty much out of luck. See, the St. Pete area is surrounded by water and has been built out for decades. So new home developments really don't exist in the area and there is no more land for new communities. You will find homes being torn down and replaced by a custom built home, but not in a community type setting where you're surrounded by other new builds. The one exception to that rule is that the downtown area is absolutely exploding with beautiful high-rise condos. Decades ago, condos weren't really in demand, but with the development of the pier in the downtown area, the waterfront has blossomed into a popular place to live. And with the lack of room to build, condos are really a popular option. If you like the condo living or that maintenance-free living, you can get a newly built condo, but be prepared to pay a decent price as they are in high demand and most of them are geared towards that luxury product. While I truly hate being negative, see what I did there?
Yeah.
Let's piggyback off of that last con and mention that you really get a feel that the middle class is non-existent in St. Pete. Now, I'm not saying it literally, but you do get a feel that there are either areas of luxury or areas in poverty, and that middle class is definitely the minority of the three. This is also reflected in the crime data. Every city has crime, and St. Pete is no different, but take this for what it's worth. You almost instantly know if you're in a bad area or a good one, and you don't really need data to tell you that. I take my kids everywhere with me, and we explore all of the St. Pete area. We love the downtown, we go to Rays games, and the beaches, and I've never once felt unsafe with them. But that's because I'm aware of my surroundings. Don't only rely on data, and don't just take my word for it. I urge you, visit St. Pete one day, and you will understand it's a special city, and it can be a very nice place to live. Now put that music back on, and let's talk about some of the good stuff. St. Pete is one of the most walkable cities. I love me some Tampa, and if you have been to my channel, you know that Tampa has my heart, but Tampa can't really touch St. Pete on the walkable areas. Downtown St. Pete is the mecca of walkable areas and things to do. The downtown area literally has hundreds of restaurants, museums, shops, attractions, and honestly, endless things to do. And you can either walk to them or you can jump on the downtown Looper trolley, which is free, and it runs 7 days a week. The Beach Drive Strip is one of the best walkable waterfront areas for anyone to explore and has, a little bit of something for everyone. Bring the kids, the dog, grandma, and simply just go for a stroll. Grab a cold one at a brewery nearby or visit one of the many museums in the area. If you're interested in hearing more about the downtown area after this video, go to my channel and find this video as I've covered the most recommended things to do in downtown St. Pete. Now, I can't let downtown take all of the love though. While it is a happening area, let's not forget that St. Pete has some of the best beaches in the country. In fact, in 2021, St. Pete Beach was ranked the #1 beach in the country by TripAdvisor. My personal favorite pocket is the Paso Grill Beach. It's a tucked in historic area where beach life is just simple. There's a small little strip of shops and restaurants like the Hurricane or the Brass Monkey, where you can just pull up and have a daiquiri or a fresh grouper sandwich after a long day on the sand. Now, I like the beach there because it's easy to park and the beach isn't really as busy there. But now, if you're strolling down St. Pete Beach from that area, the Don Cesar is a landmark and it looks like a giant pink cake. But don't let that fool you. It's one of the nicest hotels in the area and has the longest history. After spoiling yourself at the Don with maybe a day pass, a few doors down, you can start hopping the open-air beach bars like the Undertow, where there is always live music, some volleyball, and the Coronas are cheap. Life by the beach is easy living, and you can go anywhere with a bathing suit and just a nice pair of flip-flops on.
Oh, yeah.
Outside of St. Pete Beach, nearby Fort DeSoto is a county park that has a Spanish-American War-era fort, some of the best bird watching, if that's your thing, and over 1,100 acres of bike trails and beautiful white sand beaches. Located just north of St. Pete Beach, one of my favorites is Indian Rocks Beach. My family rents a month-long vacation condo there yearly, and it is absolutely paradise. It's more of a residential setting, and the beaches are a little bit wider there compared to the busier areas. And if you visit with kids, the Candy Kitchen is a long-time staple in the community, and it's a great stop for some old school candy and some good old ice cream. On to my favorite pro of living in St. Petersburg, Florida. We have pro sports. There are 4 professional teams in the Tampa Bay area, the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Tampa Bay Lightning, which are located just across the bridge in Tampa. And the Rays, our baseball team, and the Rowdies, our soccer team, are located in downtown St. Pete. There is nothing better than going to a Rays game as they play in an air-conditioned dome, and you can enjoy games all season long without worrying about any disruptions from the weather. Speaking of the weather, it's actually a pro and a con for St. Pete. Some know St. Pete as the Sunshine City because it logged 768 consecutive days of sunshine and holds the Guinness World Record for the longest stretch of days with sun. The normal weather temps over the course of the year typically vary from 56 degrees to 89 degrees and is rarely below 46 degrees or above 93 degrees. As with everywhere in the Tampa Bay area, the hottest and rainiest months are the summer months from June to August. Now, most of the annual rainfall also comes within these months, and guess what? No snow. So the pro is that it's always sunny and the rain keeps everything green and the flowers are always blooming. Everything has this tropical vibe, and mixed in with the beach and the water, the views are just, everything is just calming and it really relaxes you. So now let's talk about the two cons related to the weather. These are both seasonal and worth mentioning because locals don't blink an eye at them, but it seems that most that are not from Florida tend to have a lot of questions on the subjects. The two cons are hurricanes and red tide. No. Red tide. As you know, we have warm beach waters. I mean, like in the 80s, and at times it's absolutely paradise to swim in. I can literally float in the water at the beach for hours. But just about every year, we do get an algae bloom, which causes the water to turn a light tint in some spots, and if it reaches a concentrated level, can harm marine animals. You will mostly see dead fish wash ashore, which is not a pretty sight. However, it's pretty harmless overall for humans. This is called red tide, and it does mess with your respiratory system, and at worst times, it will make you cough a little if you're breathing in the air, if you're local to it. During heavy red tide, most locals just stay away from the beaches. And most red tide comes and goes within a few weeks, and it's pretty harmless overall, but I would say once every decade or so, we do get a pretty bad batch that hangs around and wrecks things up for a bit. So with that said, I didn't sugarcoat things there, but if you ever hear about red tide, it's not something to be truly worried about. It's unfortunate, but locals know about it, and it really just bums us out for the setback on fishing the population, and it really pauses some of our beach days. With all of this in Tampa Bay, we still have 5 of the top 25 beaches in the country, including St. Pete Beach, which again was ranked number 1 in 2021. So it's good to know about, but please take it with a grain of salt. Now, I can't say take hurricanes with a grain of salt, but it's kind of a way of life here in Florida. We are always in the path of hurricanes during the summer months, but we really haven't had a direct hit in over 100 years. And why? Because Tampa Bay is tucked in a specific way that somewhat shelters us from a direct landfall. Hurricanes can damage a lot where they make landfall, but by the time they cross land, they've weakened quickly. Locals have an evacuation plan if needed, but dating back to my great-grandparents in Tampa, no one has ever had to evacuate, and we have never had any kind of flood damage to our homes. So while you can't take it with a grain of salt, be prepared and count your blessings that we are located in a nice little tucked in cove on the west coast of Florida. Now back to some fun stuff.
Yes!
Living in St. Pete, you are surrounded by water, and the outdoor options for fun on the water are endless. We have beaches, we have boating, fishing inshore and offshore, diving, kayaking, paddleboarding, jet skiing, and parasailing. The water, it's honestly a playground for us. I love island hopping with friends, and we plan it out so that the first part of the day we fish a little, then we target some snapper or maybe a small grouper, then we head to an island and grill our fresh catch while floating in the crystal clear water, and you know we have to have a few cold ones in hand. Seriously, it's easy living here. Next up, and I have to keep things honest with you, not sure if you've heard of it yet, but if you move to St. Pete, you're gonna turn into a hipster. Nah, I'm just kidding.
You almost gave me a heart attack, man.
But seriously, growing up here, we knew about Budweiser and Miller and Heineken. Now there's over 100 breweries in the Tampa Bay area, and I find myself trying all kinds of new beers. The other day I had a mimosa flavored beer and chased that with a vanilla cinnamon coffee beer. It kind of really messes with you. And the food here? You may have heard me talk about some of our top-notch restaurants like Burns Steakhouse in Tampa, but St. Pete has some serious grub. Farm-to-table restaurants and fresh seafood options are everywhere. I love it, and it's kind of a new thing. My wife and I find a new place to eat every other weekend just to try new things. The pro here is that we have a ton of variety with food and beverages, and the con, well, maybe one day you're going to find yourself sipping on some type of beer you probably would have made fun of in the past, and you might be carrying around a couple extra LBs from all the food that you're going to be enjoying. Downtown was once a ghost town after all of those 9-to-5ers went home, leaving snowbirds, retirees, and beach bums to just enjoy all of St. Pete. It was a slower pace of living back then, and an area that needed a jolt of life. Ranked as a top arts and cultural destination among cities in its size, St. Pete is now home to the world-famous museums, independent galleries, thriving performing arts scene, film festivals like live music, a vibrant literary arts community, a close-knit community of working artists and craftspeople, and a whole lot of public art and outdoor installations. When you add in the endless options of restaurants and shopping, St. Pete is now a hotspot attracting new residents from all over the place. Present day, St. Pete is very much alive and thriving, and it's full of art, culture, and diversity. Honestly, just making it a great city to live in. But with all of this change, what's the vibe like in St. Pete? It's very versatile. It can be anything you want. You can live in a posh luxury condo like near downtown and bike the trails and have great restaurants at your fingertips. Or you could be a beach bum and enjoy sand between your toes and hop outdoor around all the beach bars for fun. The retiree life isn't too shabby here either. It could be a mix of both with a little tennis thrown in the middle. Whatever you want your lifestyle to be, St. Pete is a great city to live in. And if you're planning to move to St. Pete and want help finding the right area that really just matches your lifestyle, see that number on the screen? Give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email because my team and I would love to help you find your next home. Until that next video, I'll catch you later.